Good morning, traders. Welcome back to another live stream. If you are new, my name is Zach. This is Real Deal Futures. Before we hop on these crazy looking charts on this beautiful Monday, March 23rd, as always, make sure you read what's on the screen. Trading is risky. Most traders do lose money. I'm not a financial advisor. I do not provide financial advice. Nothing I say or do is a suggestion or recommendation to do anything at all. Make sure you do your own research, make your own trading decisions. Read CFTC Rule 4.41 on simulated trading, which is what this is. Even if funded prop firm accounts, and the affiliate and partnership disclaimer, this is I stand to make money from links and codes in my content. Like Top of Futures, code RDF, and others. Can't be unbiased if I stand to make money, which I do. Important for you to know that. Do your own research, make your own damn decisions. Chat, what in the world? What in the world, man? We've been talking about the Trump comments. We've been talking about the news. Holy 1,000-point candle here on YM, a 1,638.3.5% move out of the Dow in one 15-minute candle. If we drop down even lower, you can see majority of this was over the course of 1 minute. Actually, it was over the course of like 30 seconds. Over 1,000 points in a minute. Over 1,000 points in a minute here on YM. Absolutely insane. Well, let me go back to the... absolutely insane. I was getting ready to hop over to NQ, but I think I might have to stay on YM here for a minute and just mark this bad boy up. This is on news, obviously. Let's just take a look at, you can see, what exactly this was. Here's the comment from Financial Juice. Again, not that it matters, right? Not that we are the fundamental traders. This prints after that prints on the chart, just so you know. There's no news that comes out telling you it first, and then, then the 1 minute candle. Maybe the best you get is squawk as it's happening, right? So here's the comments. Obviously, have instructed the Department of War to postpone any and all military strikes against Iranian power plants and energy infrastructure for a 5-day period, subject to the success of ongoing meetings. So that's what we got today. Here's where was it breaking this morning? Yeah, here's it breaking this morning. This is it right here. If you guys want to check this out, financialjuice.com is the news site that I would look at for this more breaking news. You could pay for it so it's not delayed, but yeah, that's what we got going on today, man. So let's take a look around the horn at all of these. We'll get rid of some of this. Let's take a look around at all of these and decide what the hell we're gonna do today, right? What is going to be our game plan? What's going to be our plan of attack through this massive movement, right? Huge spike in volatility, as you can see. Obviously, huge movement in a very short amount of time. We'll do that. Big movement out of NQ just to measure it and take a look at what we got. Oh, that wasn't smart. Insane. Almost a 4% move. Almost 1,000 points out of NQ. 3,500 ticks. Absolutely insane. Similar movements across all of these, right? And then you can see it in the metals as well. All the correlated assets, pulling big moves this morning on this type of news. So let's take a look at YM. Let's see what we did here. High time frame zones, right? We're blowing through average daily ranges right now. We've far exceeded what we've done. As you can see, just zoomed out over the last couple days. Let's start on the daily. Even the last couple weeks, biggest candle that we've seen start to print even in a long period of time. We found beautiful support off of this level. Crack to the upside. We really traded through this big area of volume. Now we're coming back down to kind of like hang out at that. We can stay zoomed out on the daily here. We've got about 5 minutes to open up for NYSE session. We'll say our good mornings here in just a minute. We'll talk about all the fun stuff we got going on in Discord. But first, I want to get this chart marked up because I have my Top 1 Futures live prop firm account loaded up. We'll see if we can't make some damn money, man. Yeah, so on a day like today, right, on this type of news, you typically see, obviously, right, market either goes up or down. We either see one of two things, right? This looks like it could be, based on the magnitude of that reaction, that the market is perceiving this one way, as market opens up for NYSE, we're going to see this across, market participants, and we are indeed going to move to the upside today, right? It's going to be a long play. We're going to continue this move to the upside, right? If that happens, where would I be looking? Where would I be looking for potential targets? Where might we move to, right? Let's take a look super zoomed out on the daily chart first, because this is a huge movement, right? Here, all the way back up towards the 47,750s, right? That's what I'd be looking at. If we were going to move to the upside, if we were going to come right through this high and continue all the way up here, all the way back up towards the 48,000 evens. That would be a huge move. Like that would really, this is already big. To push this thing farther would be huge. Is it unheard of? Nope. Look at what we did, in 30 seconds this morning, right? We cracked to the upside here. We traded all the way up to 47,210, just to be exact. We're traded all the way back down to the 46,675s. Let's take a look here. I'm just going to pull up a book map as well. I'm going to clean this up by getting rid of this zone right here. I like this level right in here. I like this level right in here. I like this level right in here. This is very zoomed out on the 15-minute, right? We're displaying the entire month's worth of data. I like this level, obviously, right down here, and I like this one above. So I'm going to leave this. Here's what I'm interested to see. If we start to move to the downside, what's the other thing that could happen today? We completely erase the move, right? We could come all the way back down to fill this imbalance. I'm really interested in here, guys. I'm really interested in here. And unless we get more news, we're getting ready to open up here in about 30 seconds. Unless we get more news as to why we should not move to the upside, Trump completely negates what he says. Somebody in the political sphere completely negates what Trump says. Why we should not continue moving to the upside. I'm just going to extend this if I can extend it sideways. Yeah, beautiful. Here we go, open it up for NYSE Open. Unless there's something else that comes out to say why we should move lower, we could do whatever we want. It wouldn't really make a whole lot of sense for us to just blow the lows out today, right? So I'm really interested for an aggressive continuation style trade. Obviously, mean reversion is right back down here. If you had a gun to my head today, right now, right here, I would be short back to VWAP. That would be my trade right here. If I had to take a trade, I think that would be crazy to fade this movement right off of the open. We're not testing a zone right now. I don't have a mean reversion style trade at all. Here's what I'm looking for today. Like I think many are. I think a lot of people are long now. I think tons of stops got popped on shorts, right? I think a ton are long from pre-market to continue this move to the upside. I'm sure a lot of people are watching this move right here that I'm watching, at least on Dow. Right? Back to this area of high volume. I'm looking long. I'd be looking long off of this level right here. This is going to be a key spot to watch if we come lower, right? To sweep this low that we put in, the only pullback so far on this blast higher. I'd be looking for this type of a movement. Pull back long. Bam. You got VWAP, right? Why do I like this area? Why do I like this trade so much? You have VWAP. You have temporary volume point of control from visible range volume profile. You have Friday's volume point of control, Thursday's volume point of control. Obviously, a pretty key level here. It's the middle of this imbalance, right? It's a really, you got a lot lining up here, man. It's probably close to the 50%. It's deeper than the 50% of this big move right here. I think this is going to be a really nice area to look for longs. I like it because it's in the movement that I wanted on Friday, in the direction of the movement that I wanted on Friday when I took a nice L. I had that feeling that they weren't going to let this bottom fall out, chat. I had the feeling on Friday. I was just a little too early. Maybe had a swing on, I would have survived this. Survived this crazy pullback, move back up, drift lower, and then big push. Again, unless this just completely fails and it's absolute just nobody cares, initial knee-jerk reaction, and then it's, going to be... by the rumor that he might be kind of, going going to try to slow things down and sell the news as we come back down lower. I don't know. I don't think that we do that today. So we'll see. We'll see. Would obviously be the opposite of what, you know, everybody expects to happen, right? But for me, just to be a little bit clearer on this, guys, I'm really interested around the 46,150s, 200s to 150s. Temporary volume point of control, right? VWAP, like I said, multiple volume points of controls. The middle ground of this, tapping back into this imbalance that we've created here. This massive higher time frame imbalance that we have here, right? Down below this level. This is going to be a key spot into the 375s that we're coming into right now. I'm curious around the 150s. That's to be waiting for a really aggressive long if we started to pull back to that area. What the hell would I do with a stop and a target is the question. I'm going to size down on this because that's just not going to be appropriate. If we came back down into VWAP, I'd size down on this, probably trade some micros, run a fat stop loss, man. Like I ran on Friday. Really fast stop loss and allow this thing to really come lower, push lower, not be below lows of days, lows of this news move, but be outside of this, you know, area of high volume. So this would be wide. I don't know exactly what this is going to look like. I'd have to see what price action structure looks like as we come down lower. But I would look for a long on this. Gonna say what's up in chat in just a minute here, guys. We're taking a look. We're taking a look. Okay, yeah, that's my thesis here, guys. That's my bias for today. If I wanted to fade this, you have an opportunity to fade it, right? You know, come all the way back down to VWAP. I'm not doing that off of the open. There's no mean reversion style trade at all for this. You know, it would be like that, and that is just completely out of the question for me today. We're already not doing that. We're pushing back down towards VWAP. I'm looking long. It is more about from the middle of the range, continuation play to the upside. That's what I'm going to have going for today if we pull back. If we continue to pull back here. Yeah, deep into this. Deep into this, right? I want the everybody gets long. Everybody gets long. Everybody gets long. We take everyone and their mother out. And then we move. Right? That's what I want today. That's what I want today. So we'll see. Crazy volatility, guys. Let's talk about this as well. Crazy volatility, right? This is big movement. What should we be doing? Like I'm talking about. Sizing down. Widening out stops and targets. This is big volatility, right? If you're trading with one mini on Friday, you're like, and you go to trade with one mini today, it's going to be like trading with 2 or 3 minis, right? We got big movement here today. So it's going to be reasonable to size down, widen out stop losses, widen out take profits, in my humble biased opinion. I would consider you to be measuring volatility, maybe by using the measurement tool and realizing that every 15-minute candle is printing, you know, over 200 points. You know, when your 15-minute candles in here are printing with 50 points, right? Or maybe an ATR. Down here, down on the bottom, that's what I have here. It's the 15-minute ATR. Average true range. So let's see if we get a little bit of a pullback here, man. I'm interested in it. I'm really interested in it. This is gonna be crazy, man. It's gonna be a tough to trade session. Definitely a tough to trade session here, but I'm interested to see if we pull back down here to VWAP. We might not, right? Like I said, this is an interesting spot right here. This is not a hindsight level. This is the same zone that I've had on my chart, you know, all last week. Let's reacting beautifully. Top end of this, you know, high volume area, right? Some highs, daily highs in here. This might be all we do before we blast higher. But I'm not getting long with the stop loss at VWAP. That does not make sense to me. Too aggressive. That'd be too aggressive. Good morning, good morning. Let's see. Chat, what's up? Paul. Good morning, Zach. Good morning, fam. Good morning, oh, Purple Ninja, Allen. It's Schwarm. What's happening? What's happening? Good morning, good morning, good morning. Candle, Vertigo, Mike Z. What's up? What's up? What's up? Queen Zara, what's happening? Good morning. How was your weekend? Had a good morning, guys. Had a good morning. What is happening? Let's What's happening, guys? Wolf! What's up, dude? What's happening? What is happening? What's going on, guys? What's going on? What's going on? Did I miss talk? Why is Zach talking to you-know-who slang? Yeah, an imbalance, Wolf, let's be clear. An imbalance is not ICT's slang, just so you know. An imbalance is an order flow term, right? Typically coming off of a footprint chart, referencing a stacked imbalance, what is printed on a footprint chart when price moves extremely quickly, right? So despite common retail misconceptions and relabeling over and over and over again of fair value gaps and inverse fair value gap, this and that, an imbalance is a generally vague term, right, that can be used to describe something like this, right? Often referring to, in my book, a stacked imbalance, which can be seen on a footprint chart. A footprint chart. Anyway, but you can call things whatever you want. Let's just call it a big candle. Fill some of this massive candle where we moved in one direction without any volume traded, as you can see right here, right? Look at the visible range volume profile, right? Oftentimes we like to come back into those areas, right? Areas of interest. Is there price action in market structure and volume? Is there no price action in market structure and volume, right? Same way that we're looking at the visible range volume profile. High volume nodes, low volume nodes, right? Extreme low volume node, right? If we were just going to display this price action in market structure here, let's let it, reset, right? This is what we're talking about, right? We can relabel things as much as we want, and everybody will argue about where things have come from. I don't care. I'm just trying to describe price action market structure on my chart. But good to see you, man. Good to see you guys. Happy Monday, Grand Rising. It's marked. You guys are so funny. Appreciate everybody hopping on, man. Welcome to the show. This is gonna be fun. Man. I got a feeling we're gonna have some movement today. Kobe Clark, Slothfather, Jess, what's up? Got filled on 40, 45, 4, 55 on my overnight play. Wake up to a big damn near bottom tick. The market move. Damn, Kobe. Damn. Beautiful, dude. What an insane play. Got tagged in on an overnight play. Yeah, I talked about getting some swing trading on overnight. I'm gonna try, especially over the next couple weeks when I got some travel coming up. I'm gonna be running some overnight plays in prop accounts, for sure. Probably gonna designate and separate a couple things for like overnight swing accounts. But what a beautiful play, man. What a beautiful play if you got ticked in there. That is awesome. Yeah, man. So I'm gonna be watching this. I don't have a setup just yet. We talked about looking for a long around the 46,200s, maybe 150s, off of this VWAP area, right? Off of this area of high volume. I like that for my area of interest to the downside. I like that for. I think we want to come back in here, fill some of this crazy movement, return back to this area of high volume, multiple volume points of controls, Thursday, Friday, temporary volume point of control, right? VWAP right in here, volume weighted average price, potentially take out some stops, so people that are getting long too early right in here, and then pop. We might not do that. We could certainly not do that. We could certainly do what we're doing right now. Just dip a little bit on 930 and then take right off to the upside. In fact, we're making the case for that movement right here, right now. I'm sure we've got a ton of people getting long right in on this movement here. Retest of this area of pre-market, pull back, support, pushing to the outside, pulling back to support, and now continuing higher. I'm sure we're going to have a ton of people getting long on this right now for a break of the highs in the run. Could certainly see that. We might not pull back any further than this. This just doesn't give me a good way to structure risk. Not for me. This is my spot. is my spot down here. To the upside, I'm not going to look for a short at all on this. If we start breaking, I think that would be a silly movement. And the other side is we just come through the lows. We just sell off. I don't think many are going to be betting on that today, but we could certainly do that. Anyway, I'm sitting patient, looking for a deep pullback here into NYSE Open for a long. That's going to be my play. Whoa. If we don't get that into the open, I'm going to be waiting for it maybe mid-morning. I would still like it mid-morning. We get late in the session. I don't know that I want it. I think I would have missed the move to the upside. We get that. We don't get that. Either way, in a little bit, we're going to hop over to Scalp on NQ. See if we can't trade like degenerates on NQ. Let's see what we got today, chat. Let's see what we got today. Morning, Zach community. Good morning. Be ready with your charm. They're coming. Oh, you guys are funny. You guys are so funny. Trump, Iran would like to make a deal. We would like a deal too. Yeah, that's the talk of the morning, and it looks like they're continuing it. Alan, CVD is looking kind of heavy. Yeah, CVD is looking heavy. Weird because RSI showing bearish divergence. Yeah. After we get huge movements like this, right? This can look a little bit funky, right? This can absolutely look a little bit funky, for lack of a better term. My CVD is anchored after this movement, so we didn't capture all of the buying volume that comes into this. Without going into too much detail, I'll just leave it that cumulative volume delta, you know, as we're coming into the open and as we have some of this bearish calculation in here, can certainly look a little bit off, for lack of a better term. I see liquidity above and below here on ES. I think we were looking similar on NQ. YM is looking pretty light today, although we do have some up at the 47,200s up above. Nope, at the highs, right at the highs. We traded the 210s. Outside of that, this is looking like nothing. I'm gonna leave ES up super duper thin on the book today for YM. On the right contract with that? Yeah, on the right contract. I'm gonna leave ES, NQ, and YM's book map really not doing too much for me today. ES looking nice and thick as always. ES is that thick boy, Dom. Anyway, yeah, guys, still watching this. We're going to see if we want to come down to this level, take out some stops. I'm going to have to see what happens if we come lower. If we come lower. If we just take off through the highs, you know, it's a buy right into news for a continuation. My bias is long. I'm not looking to completely fade this. My thesis is not that we flip this daily candle bearish unless Trump says something or somebody says something, right? That just negates all of this movement to the upside. Certainly could do that. You know, certainly could do whatever we want today, right? But I'm looking for a pullback, a nasty pullback. We started the pullback here. This is pretty clean. I mean, that's 800 points off the highs. Failed to get back above. Coming into market open here. 930. We dipped and then popped. Where's 930? Here's 930. We gonna pull a dip and rip? Is that it? We dipped and popped. We really don't have too much going on just yet. Here's our, you know, here's our range so far for NYSE. Let me not do that. Like, this isn't too much just yet. This isn't too exciting. Let's see. Let's see. We just gonna pop here, continue to the upside, and our, you know, our New York session is gonna be a beautiful move higher. I don't think that's, you know, out for reason to believe. I'm looking for bang. Looking for that. I just based on this already, I might even consider getting a little more aggressive as we come down here with a wide stop on micros. My mini chart is marked up. What you're going to see from me here today, chat, is if we get ready for that trade, I'm going to quickly pop over to MYM, micro YM, and size down off of my usual max 1 mini on this account, which I'm limited to. I might run higher risk than $1,000, but I'm not going to run an under a 200-point stop on this. I just think that's not enough for the movement that I'm going for, right? I think this could be, a large movement to the upside if we potentially dip lower. And I don't know exactly where we're going to dip down to. I'd need a wide stop on this. So that's what I'm looking at today. Let's see what the market's got for us, man. Let's see what the market's got for us. Trump speaking right now. Right? CBD wasn't ready, for sure. Guys, giveaways. I see a lot of people asking about giveaways, as always. Here's what we got. Here's my comments. I have been blowing up across socials, across so many different places. It's awesome that I have so much going on. I appreciate it. I've had so much negativity come from and with the giveaways, believe it or not. So much hate and negativity and issues with social media. Here's what we're doing. Are we going to do a giveaway on stream? I don't know. Are we going to do a giveaway on IG for another day? I don't know. Maybe. We'll have to see. But here's what we got going on this week for sure. 550K elite daily accounts up for grabs in Discord. If you want to be part of this giveaway this week, which is no purchase necessary, the same way we do stuff when I do it all over IG and other socials and here on the live stream. Hop in the 100% free community. Link is pinned to the top of the chat. Look at the updates and alerts and announcements and information. You can find out how to be part of the giveaways that we're going to do in Discord. Excuse me. Watching this push to the upside. I'm going to leave this up for a second, guys. Go ahead, check it out. Hop in Discord if you want to be part of some giveaways in Discord this week. Are we going to do them on stream? Maybe. Maybe we'll do more on stream. Are we going to do more on IG? Maybe. Are we going to do more on Twitter? Maybe. But that's what I'm going to say for giveaways today. And the last comment that I'm going to finish on here, guys, it takes so much away from trading and talking about the markets and talking about prop firms and talking about things that are going to move the needle forward. I love to give back. I love to get people funded. I get so much good engagement and growth from it. You guys get funded with accounts. It's awesome. I'm not going to waste as much time as I have in the past yapping about giveaways, okay? So please don't ask me for the giveaways. Don't beg for stuff. My DMs, especially, as I do more giveaways, are full of people asking me for money and, help for their sick families. Don't beg. It's a rule that I have. Don't ask for money. Don't ask for giveaways. Don't ask for stuff. No begging, no asking for free stuff. It's a rule across everything. So please don't do that, guys. Hop in Discord. All the details and information are there. If you have a question after that, read it again, because I'm sure that you won't have a question. As we are pushing higher, man. I don't know. That might be it, guys. That might be it. That might be it. Just give me free account. Upload for... Yeah, I can see we're joking now. I can see we're joking. Hop in Discord, the updates and alerts channel. You can read through that, guys. Read through. Outside of that, let's see what we could do here on YM, man. Let's see what we could do here on YM. This kind of looks like we just want to go. This kind of looks like we're building a little bit of a base here and we just want to go. My dog is sick. Can he enter the giveaway too? You guys are so funny. You wouldn't believe the excuses that I get, that prop firms get. My cat, that's where my head's at. My cat stepped on my keyboard. My sister accidentally logged into my account. My brother entered the information on the giveaway, and he uses the same email as me, so we actually didn't fill the form out 10 times. It was just my brother. Can I still have the account? You guys are hysterical. You guys are funny. Yeah, guys, so again, watching YM here. This is my bread and butter. Trade YM off the 15-minute chart. I'm logged into a Top 1 Futures live account. Same live account that I've been in since October of last year. For those of you guys that are new here, I am on payout number 22 in this Top 1 Futures live account. Took an L on Friday after taking 2 payouts. We're going to see if we can't bounce back from that and just keep ripping payouts from this bad boy. I'm logged into TradingView from a Tradeovate prop account, Tradeovate live prop account, to make it even more confusing. And we're going to see if we can't trade YM here and make some damn money. I wanted to see a pullback down around this level right here. I called out the 46,200s to 150s, down around VWAP, volume weighted average price. Temporary volume point of control on the visible range volume profile. Volume profile down here from Friday. Volume profile, volume point of control here from Friday. Volume point of control here from Thursday. I like this. Down into the middle of this imbalance, which is, despite popular belief, not a smart money concepts term. It's just a way of describing price action that, in my humble biased opinion, stems from the long-standing terminology based on footprint charts referencing imbalances, oftentimes referred to as stacked imbalances, which are a display on a footprint chart, which have been around for a long period of time. Anyway, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. We dipped a little bit here. Just to zoom in on the 930 candle. And now we are since finding buyers and trying to push higher. My trade idea is not invalidated yet. Not dead yet. If we just do this, if we just rip through the highs, that's going to be the movement. I don't know why we would look like that, but not that it matters. But if we just do that, we stutter step right here at the 47,400s and then pop to the upside. Now, if we just pop through the highs, that's the move. It's just going to be buy off the open, continuation to the upside, right? You know, dip in pre-market, dip off the open, and then a push. I don't have a way in for that. That's not my trade. That's not my thesis. I don't do that after every huge pre-market news candle, so I'm not going to do that today. If we push through the high, that would invalidate my opportunity, right? If we just push through the high, I don't have the same thesis that we do this, and I'm looking to buy as we sell off 1,000 points for a huge continuation of the upside. That's not the thesis. It's here now, right? Coming into the open. Still got an opportunity to do it. Come down, clean out stops here, and potentially find a continuation trade to the upside. You can start running it here, right? You know, maybe this is your trade. Maybe this is it for you. That's what you're going to look at. Maybe you say, no, Zach, we're going to sell off. We're just going to take everybody out today. Maybe. Maybe. Not my play. So we'll see. Yeah, even if we popped a little bit higher and then came back down, I would still like it for that continuation. We come near or through these highs. I'm going to go over to NQ and look to scalp it. Let's see, guys. Let's see. Looks like it might be a hangout for a little bit, going scalp NQ type of morning, man. It looks like what we might have here, guys. Man. Back up towards highs here. I'm just zooming in a little bit to get a better reference of what the heck we did here at 9:30. 9:30 candle. Nice trend to the upside so far. After retesting close to this support right in here, right off the open. Chatty McChat. Are we just going to go today? We're going to follow through on this news? Man, are we just gonna take off? Sorry, I'm locking in here, guys. I'm interested, man. I'm really interested. Always, obviously, I'm a market enthusiast. I'm a chart enthusiast. I love being immersed in the markets, and you know these don't come around. I mean, they've been coming around a lot more often with Trump in office, but these don't come around terribly often, right? It's not every day that we have, you know, a 1,000+ point 1 minute candle in YM out of absolutely nowhere. So I'm really curious to see if we're just going to continue. It kind of feels like, obviously, as I'm watching it happen, that we might not want to come lower, at least not yet. At least not yet. This dip might be all that we needed to do here so far. Very similar structure across all of these. We're getting this little Dorito pattern. Used to trade with Adobe Time from Top Step on Top Step TV. The Dorito pattern. We're getting this wedge. All right, we're getting this wedge, and as price contracts here, like a spring, oftentimes we expand pretty aggressively out of something like this. Are we going to go down and sweep lows heading back down towards VWAP? I don't know, man. I think we might leave this thing. I think we might leave this and just pull that continuation move to the upside. I'm not going to have a way in. I'm really not going to have a way in if we do this. I'm not going to, at least not on YM. I'm going to hop over to NQ for sure, and I'll scalp for continuation. We'll just look for little buys to the upside if we start that trendy, drifty movement. So I'm definitely going to get some trading in, or at least I'm planning on it. But here on YM, my bread and butter, the live account, I got a feeling I might be sitting patient, man. We're not pulling that nasty take everybody out. At least not yet. At least not yet. I could certainly see it happening. I think it would be a really clean movement. What I'm framing here is, this is going to be an interesting spot. This is going to be an interesting spot. Right below this pre-market low. Right below this pre-market low. Right below this session low. I don't know if we pull all the way back. VWAP is climbing higher. I don't know that we pull all the way back in here. And my concern is starting to be that if we do, just framing out trades, right, we just might go higher. But, you know, just framing out my if-then statements, my thesis here. If we do start to get that really aggressive pullback, where do we stop, right? If we come into this area really aggressively to the downside, which, again, we're not making the case to do this now. Do we want to find buyers in here after breaking these lows and coming lower? We're not making the case to do any of that right now. We are just making the case to move higher. Just making the case to move higher. Like I said, there's an opportunity in here if you're just looking along it today, right? I think that's your spot on any one of these. Stop below the pre-market low. Your thesis is that we're not going to pull back any further. We're not going to break maybe even session lows. This is the low of the day, or excuse me, low of the session, low of NYSE session. This is going to be the last low put in pre-market before we opened up. And, you know, you start long in this thing and hold. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I definitely don't think there's anything wrong with that. Obviously, with this type of movement, even though we've exceeded, you know, average daily ranges, there's always room to go higher, right? Always room to go higher. It's just not my trade. It's not my setup. It's nothing close to anything that I do here on YM. On NQ, we'll look for it. We'll look for it. But I just want to stay focused on here. Have a really good frame of reference of what I'd like to do. So again, I think this is an interesting spot if we catch a pullback here. I'm trying to decide if my thesis is that if we start to pull back, we sweep these, you know, this session low, this pre-market low. Maybe we do it before initial balance, which is 10:30 a.m. or after initial balance, we get a failed auction. I just don't know if I would want to be taking it up here, taking it down here. I don't love having a stop loss right in here, but this might be the return to this this high volume node rather than this high volume node. Gonna have to see what happens as we come lower, if we come lower. My inclination is that I want to take it in here. I want to take it in here on a dip lower near VWAP, on the thesis that we don't come all the way through. If we come all the way down here, like we start drifting into the 46,000s, the low 46,000s, I don't know that we pop and continue. I think that could be a really, really aggressive movement to the downside. But let's see. We're not doing that yet. We're just, you know, pulling back right now, but we've really just been continuing higher off the open. Quick dip down and a continuation higher. Let's see. Let's see. Yo, Nate, what's up? Nate, what's up, man? Wolf, what's up? Nate, what's up? Marcy, what's up? Trump speaking. Awesome. What are we looking at, guys? Silver, gold trade. Yeah, I don't trade silver and gold. Really. I don't really trade the metals much. I've gotten a handful of trades in on gold in the past, but I'm not looking at gold or silver today, guys. Most of the U.S. indices, YM and NQ for the most part right now, but I'll look around at the U.S. indices. I don't find a lot of value or help looking at gold for this. Falling wedge, we'll see. Spectator mode, yeah, guys. Market's volatile, guys. Market's moving around. There's nothing wrong with just saying, hey, you know what? I ain't ready for this, right? There's nothing wrong with seeing this on the chart and maybe getting cooked, maybe getting a stop loss hit or something, and going, hey, you know what? I'm good. I haven't traded that before, and I'm not going to trade it today. There's nothing wrong with that. Definitely nothing wrong with that. Man, oh man. Man, oh man. I'd love to get a trade on. I really would. I'd like to run something today because with this type of movement, I think we could get the drift, man. Like, I really do. This is a pretty big movement after selling off into the open, gap down, selling off, you know, of the open of session changeover, open of the week. Big push up on this news, man. I'd really like to run along. I'd like to position myself in here. Oh, man. Oh, chat. Chat. This might be all we do today. That might be it, man. That very well might be it. And we get some extension to the upside. This is an interesting spot up above price, right? Multiple daily candle closures right in here into the 47,400s. 600s. If we wanted to go, we could keep going here. This is an interesting low, man. This is a really interesting low. Really interesting low. Yeah, this is a really interesting low. This is gonna be important. Obviously, right? It's not saying too much. We've swept down below quite a few high time frame lows in this pullback. Now we've gotten a very aggressive push to the upside. You know, at a certain point on these daily charts that we're in a big, you know, bullish high time frame trend to the upside, right? You know, higher time frame perspective, what's going on with the U.S. economy? We're starting to come into some conflict in the Middle East. You know, we sell off on that really aggressively. Everything goes crazy, and then we go peace talks. You know, no more attacks. Market rallies, and if that holds, right? If that holds, and market participants are indeed ready to jump back in, and you know the market decides that we're done with the sell-off. You know, we're ready to go higher now. That could be a higher time frame shift in this, right? Higher time frame shift in this moderate time frame pullback, right? Where we've been selling off day over day since the middle of February, early February, really. But again, for today was looking at a way to get in long on this bad boy. I still am. Longer we sit here, the closer I am to hopping over on NQ, getting some lower time frames, scalping in with you guys, setting some alerts here. I'm curious off of VWAP. It's going to be closer to these lows for a long, but I got a feeling that we might not do that. I think we might just pop here, man. Maybe we get a little bit more of a movement, a little bit more chop here, but I'm wondering if we just pop here. I know Trump's talking. I could see a lot of the stuff on the side. I could see them talking on a lot of different things, right? Financial Juice continues to update stuff. All the news sites are going crazy this morning. If anything big comes out, also important to note, right? If anything big comes out of what they're discussing right now, could see a big aggressive movement. You know, that we could see another, I don't know, we see another one of these, but could see a really big aggressive movement out of this. We are very intent on making a deal. That's a quote from Trump to CNBC. It's going to be interesting, man. It's going to be interesting for sure. I think we're in for an interesting week here. Let's take a look at news as well. Just normal news. Don't have too much, but let's go through it real quick. ForexFactory.com, which I don't really love these days. Here's what we got coming up. We've got tomorrow, Flash Manufacturing, PMI, Flash Services PMI, 9:45 a.m. Eastern. That's the high impact news event. 10 a.m. Richmond Manufacturing Index. Later into the week, 8:30 a.m. unemployment claims on Thursday. That's going to be a big one. And then we're pretty light the rest of the week, man. pretty light. So nothing crazy, no NFP. We do have unemployment. No CPI, you know, no FOMC. I think this is going to be very news driven based on comments and how this situation develops, obviously. So not much out of this New York Open, man, which is not surprising, right? Huge movement in pre-market. Sometimes we just take off and carry it, but not too much out of this just yet, man. Kind of choppy. Kind of choppy with just a drift higher. Are we going to hold this low and push? Are we going to get this pullback, man? Sitting patient. Sitting patient. I'm still no trade in YM. I'm going to watch this for a little bit longer and then hop over to NQ, get some scalping in. That's going to be my game plan. That's going to be my game plan. Let us see. Let us see. Going around the horn on these. Yeah, man. On this type of price action, I think we pop. I think we go towards the highs, honestly. I don't think I get this pullback that I was waiting for. We're starting to get a little bit of movement here, but I'm waiting for something to happen, man. We got a tight wedge forming. Really tight wedge forming on these. On all of them. I'm not the chart pattern trader at all. I do not care to trade chart patterns. I'm just pointing out the type of price action and structure that we have forming here, right? We are contracting, right? We are getting this contraction within price action. Oftentimes, not oftentimes, but there's a couple ways to describe price action market structure. Right, I'm not trading a chart pattern here. I'm describing price action market structure. Same as I'm not trading an imbalance here. I'm just using terminology to describe, you know, a chart pattern. For those of you guys that are newer traders, right? Here's typically what we have. Trend to the upside, right? Higher highs and higher lows getting put in, pretty obvious. Trend to the downside, right? Lower lows and lower highs getting put in. Ranging. Right? But different types of range. That's a really just tight back and forth balanced range. Right? We can have contraction, like what we have going on right now. Right? That I'm trying to point out to you guys, that we have somewhat of a wedge forming. Oftentimes what happens, we don't stay in that for forever. We can't get any smaller. And when we finally do move, maybe we get a little sweep and then a banger movement outside of that. We can also get expansion, right? We come down, we sweep below, we break out. We're still choppy. We come up, sweep a high, break out to the upside. What do? Fake everybody out, move down, come lower, sweep the low, right? Come back up. This is some of the worst stuff. Come up, and then just kind of continue that expansion, right? That expanding range where we just continue to sweep highs and lows and we don't pick a direction. You know, again, we often don't do that for forever. We usually don't do anything for forever. But that's what I'm discussing here when I talk about this type of price movement. Not so much that there's a falling wedge or an ascending wedge or a chart pattern or a bullish flag or bearish flag or, you know, triangle, Dorito. As we contract, right, we often build that tension like a spring and then pop, move in one direction. All right, breakout. We don't typically do this for forever. This feels like we want to go to the upside. If we break to the downside, I like it even more for a long, but we're just really not doing anything here. Taking a look at NQ because I'm going to get ready to get some scalping in. Some scalping. This is... You know what? I'm not even going to mark this yet. This is choppy, man. Yeah, NQ. Whew. This is... Talked about this a little bit. This is... That's dicey, man. That's dicey right there. All right, let's see, man. Let's see. I'm going to give YM a little bit longer before I hop over to NQ, load up some sim accounts, and see if we can't get some motion going. Let's see, man. Man. What's up, guys? What's up on Kick? Saw Father called W. Beautiful, man. Beautiful. What's up, guys? Long time no see. Maybe a week back. What's up, guys? What's going on? Sideways. We'll stay sideways until another important tweet. Yeah, could be. Could be. That's we got some insights coming from our friends on Kick. This is dicey, guys. I'd be careful in here. I'd be careful in here. We got the big movement from pre-market, and now we just kind of got a slow trend here pushed in the upside. Yeah, really similar movement, just slow, drifty, choppy movement to the upside. I'd be careful in here. I don't think that we do this for forever. Really died off on volume and volatility here on all of these. A whole lot of nothing from NYSE Open here. A whole lot of nothing. I'm not doing anything yet. I don't even like this price action on NQ, to be honest. Like, you could just buy it if you want. But I'm not going to do anything crazy here this morning. I try not to do anything crazy ever, but I'm definitely not going to do anything crazy here this morning. Just getting a little bit of markup on NQ here. I don't know that I need a red line, but we can make like maybe light color blue for it's like I can't even see that. For session high and low. This could be our pre-market high. Taking a look at NQ, just trying to frame what the hell I would do on here if I started scalping this. Starting to come outside of these highs from pre-market, seeing if we can't continue this to the upside. We're coming outside of this area of high volume. You know, what do? Continue the chop back and forth, get a really aggressive sell-off for that higher time frame move to the upside, or just drift, just push outside, and we're going to go into price discovery mode. We're going to break today's high and start pushing, right? I think that could be very reasonable. We're making the case to do that. We really haven't done anything else. Making the case to do that across all of these, man. Just to push these highs. I don't have a trade on this on YM, but I'm getting ready to. Whoa, I'm getting ready to hop over to NQ. Again, if we come through these highs, I don't want the pullback for a long. This is just not going to be an easy trade today. Not going to be an easy trade. Not going to be an easy trade. Be right back, guys. Watch this market start to push to the upside. I'll make a decision. Maybe we'll hop over to NQ. BRB. Chat. We gonna pop? Is that it? We're just gonna go? You guys are getting long? Chat, how we doing, guys? Let VWAP climb a little. This is some consolidation, some junk. This AM on NQ. Yeah, I feel you. Careful. For sure, Nate. For sure. Today is horrible. Yeah, man. Go short, Zach. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know about this one, guys. I don't know about this one. Low time frame, short. Right? Low time frame, short. But I think I'm going to set some alerts and hop over to NQ. Scalp on some of these elite daily accounts from top 1. Get some really, really aggressive scalping in. I think that's going to be my game plan. I'm still curious on this. I'm going to go with an alert like here. I'm going to go first off with an alert below session low. Like if we start to come back down, actually I'm going to go right in here. If we start to come back down towards this on YM today, I want to know, right? And I really want it to wake me up if we get back down below session low, okay? Also, if we come through the high, I want to know about that. So I'm going to throw some alerts on this chart, right? Now, this could be for the trading session. This could also be for after. As you guys know, I'll trade all day, right? If a good setup comes later into the day, I'm also trading multiple prop accounts across multiple firms. Was talking about that last week. I took payouts not only from Top 1 Futures out of this live account. I'm trading the elite daily accounts with you guys. I also took 3 payouts from Take Profit Trader, TPT, and I took a payout from Lucid. Top Step seems to be the Achilles heel, who I'm still trading, but fumbling at the 1 yard line with them on some payouts. So I'm primarily doing that on NQ, and I'll set some alerts on NQ, right? I have an interesting, setup outside of trading where I make a lot of content as well, right? I do quite a bit of promotion. I also have other stuff in my life that I work on business-wise that generates me income, and just sports and hobbies. I'm constantly training and doing 47 other random different things. But if the market's going to start moving for NYSE session, and like I talked about, I want to get some overnight swing trading in. I might start to look at it as it opens up, 7, 8, 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern, hold through the evening. I'm going to try to get trades on. Again, I'm primarily doing that on NQ, just to be clear and transparent. YM, if I'm going to come off of YM, not even an hour into NYSE session and start looking at NQ, I don't want to become completely distracted, miss something that comes at 10:45 a.m. And just because I didn't get a trade on in the first, 50 minutes, I said, I'm just going to scalp NQ like an idiot, So alerts on TradingView. If you have a paid subscription with TradingView, I love TradingView alerts. Really simple. Goes to your phone. I have an Apple Watch. Even if I'm not near my phone, I get alerts to my Apple Watch. Hey, YM is pulling back. YM is breaking VWAP. You could set a whole bunch of different alerts, just so you guys know. You could set alerts for so many different movements in the market. I try to keep it simple. If I'm in a trade, maybe I set alerts, right? If we start to push in one direction or another. If we're coming into areas, I want to be aware. I don't really care so much to the upside. So, before we get to a level, I want to get an alert, right? Because maybe I see this and I'm not paying attention, and I go, okay, I'm going to get back on the charts, and, I hop back over to my desk in 5 minutes, and we've sold off really aggressively, and maybe I look for a long or something like that. So, anyway, that's kind of the idea on YM here. I'm going to hop over to NQ, though, guys. Give me a second. Let me show this image. Actually, let me just pull this off. Yeah, we'll show this image while we get some accounts loaded up here. No consistency unfunded with the accounts that I'm about to start trading with you guys. Top 1 Futures, still 60% off, ending this week. Top 1 Futures. Code RDF gets you 60% off your first or next account. These are no consistency in funded, no minimum trading days to pay out, daily payouts. These are eval style, 3-day to pass, very inexpensive in my humble opinion, no activation fee, end of day trailing drawdown in both the eval and the funded account. If you guys want to check these out, I got a ton of videos on them. I got videos comparing against other prop firm accounts. These accounts from top 1 are absolutely insane, which is why I think I'm seeing so many traders trading with them. Absolutely sick. So if you guys want to check those out, link is in the chat. I'm going to get one of them loaded up right now. Not that I can take payouts from sim accounts that I trade alongside of my live account. I can't. I am going to trade these super aggressively with you guys, along with some other sim accounts, both evals and fundeds, to demonstrate what I'm doing in Simland, right? Quite different than the live account. Trading a 15K live account with a max loss limit of somewhere in the 60% range, so essentially a $9,000 live account, right? With a contract limit and something that you want to hold on to for a long period of time, which I have, is very different. The risk structure, the trading, for the most part, is going to look different than trading 47,000 evals and funded accounts across different firms, working yourself towards faster and larger payouts while risking ruin regularly, right? While losing accounts, evals, and funded. The trading looks very different. I'm trying to display both, right? I think most traders only display one. They're sim, aggressive prop firm gamblers, right? You know, for lack of a better term. Extremely aggressive, full risk, right? You know, full size, you know, working towards payouts very quickly and blowing lots of accounts, or they're trading live accounts really slowly, right? I think one is funner to watch, you know, which is why a lot of those guys do well on socials. But I think it's also what a lot of traders are doing and they're striving for, right? You know, there's nothing wrong with either end of the spectrum. I think if you go to the extremes, maybe you're going to have a little bit of an issue. But I'm going to try to display both of those. I'm going to talk about what I'm doing when I'm doing them. What you've seen from me this morning is live account trading. Watching YM patiently, not set up for me, not give me the trade that I need, and not do anything stupid. That's what I've done for an hour here with you guys. Describe in detail exactly what I'm looking for, exactly how I'm going to structure risk, exactly what I need to see happen in order to take a really good trade. Nothing coming yet? Okay, no problem. Now, sim accounts, Simland, we're going to get really aggressive. We're going to risk ruin aggressively, repeatedly, across multiple accounts on the way to passing or failing evals very quickly, right? Account flipping. That's essentially what we're required to do with prop firms if you want to get towards, you know, fast payouts, right? So different, very different. Right now, right here, right now, I still don't have a trade. I'm going to start to watch this. I'm going to start to watch NQ's book map. And we're going to start to try to get some really aggressive trades on here. This is one of the 50K Elite Daily Challenge accounts. This one happens to be halfway to pass. It's one of the ones we were trading last week. We put some profit in some of these. This is a half past 50K. So we're going to see if we can't pass or fail this thing coming up. That's going to be my game plan here. NQ probably going to be way too aggressive to trade. No, we're going to get really aggressive. We'll trade NQ. Just getting some measurement going here. But that's what we're going to have going on here, guys. That's what we're going to have going on here. That's what we got coming up. That's what we got coming up. Let's start to see what this looks like. Not doing anything just yet. Just framing some trade ideas. Framing some, getting a feel for volatility here. I'm going to watch this for a couple minutes on the 1 minute chart. 10:33 a.m. We have our IB high, our IB low set. Watching book map, start to get a feel for where we have some liquidity on this chart. Quite a bit right above this high, no surprise there. We'll see if we can't get some scalping in. let's see what we can do here, chat. Let's see what we can do. Appreciate you guys hanging out. Let's have some fun here, man. Let's have some fun. And get some scalping in. Again, not really like fun, right? If you're here to have fun, you're probably gonna lose money. If you're here to make money, you're probably not gonna have fun. But I always have fun hanging out in live streams with you guys. Yeah, I don't really have anything in here. I really don't have anything in here just yet. I'm going to wait for this to move outside of this kind of choppy, expanding range. I got a feeling that we drop here right back down into the 24,600s down below this low. We're kind of chopping up above this high. We broke above, retested. We're not just taking off. I don't want to fade this movement right now. If I had to take a trade like immediately, which I don't, like this is probably what I'm looking at, like a quick move back down, take out some lows, return to this nice round psychological number here before hitting the 700s, unless we just go. This is not a great risk structure just yet, but this is what I'm eyeballing. We start to push to the upside, obviously just longs in here, just find a way in long, right? Find a low, but I'm looking for a move back down to the 600s right here. Here it is right now, right? Just starting to get a feel for bookmap, right? Starting to get a feel for this low time frame on NQ. I think it's important not to just slap a trade on as soon as you come over and start watching the chart. Take a second, take a couple minutes, start to get a feel for it. Maybe you frame out some trades like I just did on this one that would be playing out really nicely, right down to the 600s. This is what I wanted to see. You go, okay, I'm starting to get a good feel for it, starting to get a good read on low time frames, right? Before you start smashing buttons. Beautiful, 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 right? Order flow lining up, doing what you're expecting it to do, and you start smashing some buttons. Not quite the 600s yet. Trading through the 10s, just below this low. Let's see. What's up, guys? How are you? Good. If I ask that to know if you would recommend to focus on only one instrument. Yeah, I would. I would. If you're not consistent with one, I don't think you're going to be consistent with 5, right? I think you get a better feel if you focus on one singular instrument. Especially if you're going to day trade on low time frames. There's going to be plenty of opportunities, in my humble opinion. On one instrument, you're going to be better. You're going to have a better feel and understanding of one than you will 5 if you spend the same amount of time, trading one or splitting it between 5. If you're trading higher time frames, yeah, multiple, I think can work really well. You're just not going to have as many opportunities to present itself across higher time frames if you're only looking at one instrument. But for the most part, the most consistent traders that I see trade one. Like, the vast majority trade one. And then the guys that, behind them also that are really consistent, maybe they trade a couple, right? They bounce between, a couple of US indices and some metals, right? If they're trading futures. But it's very few and far between that I see somebody that's on a different instrument every day, right? ES, NQ, YM, N gold, N silver, N crude oil, and they also trade Forex, and they also trade, 47 other different things, right? A lot of traders will do what I do, where they are hyper-focused intraday on futures, right? And they trade, 1 or 2 instruments, like you see me do, pretty much just YM or NQ. I haven't placed a trade on anything else in quite a while. I'd like to be able to hop over to really volatile, fast-moving instruments as markets start to break out. But I really haven't done that too much recently. But a lot of traders will do what I do, is they'll trade, you know, really volatile intraday futures instruments, and then they'll also trade stocks, right? Most guys in the US are going to have an investment portfolio, right? Retirement accounts. Maybe they're going to do some higher time frame options trading. So I do quite a bit of that as well. But as far as like, what market am I watching day in and day out, right? It's NQ and YM. You know, that I pretty much always know what's going on those two throughout the day. That also gives me a really good feel for what the hell's going on in my investment portfolio, right? Because I'm probably not going to be doing great if NQ and YM are, you know, 5% down on the day or something, you know, which would be uncommon. But yeah, for the most part, if you're trying to get some consistency in trading, I would stick to one instrument. I think a lot of traders make that mistake of bouncing around all over the place. And if you know, here's my biased opinion on that as well. I would trade something slow. I probably wouldn't trade NQ. NQ is a monster. It's super fast moving. It's very volatile. Great for upside opportunity. Also great for downside risk, right? Probably want to trade, you know, ES. You know, probably just want to slow yourself down and watch paint dry. Lower volatility, right? Maybe a little bit slower moving, a little bit more time to think. Maybe zoom out and trade, you know, a higher time frame of just one of something like that. But yeah, that's my 2 cents there. Tends to work well for me. When I was trading Forex, primarily back in the day, swing trading Forex, I watched a ton of pairs. I traded a ton of different, you know, Forex pairs. Again, kind of like higher time frame swing trading on, you know, stocks, right? You're watching stuff on the daily chart. You're not going to trade one individual, you know, you could check 20 different ones for, you know, an hour a day. And, you know, then you have to wait for the next day before anything happens, right? So you can stand trading more of them, you know, that type of a deal. Anyway, guys, still just yapping here while we flipping back over to YM, taking a look, man. Yeah, just kind of choppy. Not really picking the direction as far as the larger movement intraday here for NYSE. Kind of just slow here. Looking for some scalpy trades on NQ. This is kind of difficult to pick a direction on now. Nice trend to the upside, starting to break if you're a trend line trader, starting to break to the downside. We cracked this little wedge here, broke a pre-market high, started to pull back. I'm still curious to see if we sell off into those 600s. There's nothing screaming at me here. Again, I'm going to put a higher frequency of trades on scalping on NQ. Really just going area of interest to area of interest while using some book map, while using some order flow. But I need something to be happening here. Not doing anything just yet, guys. Just framing out some risk management here. There's the 600s. There's the 24,600s. Now, do we continue this to the downside a little bit? I think we pop right here, which is why I'm looking for this buy. Framing out with 1 mini, 200 ticks. Not going to be fast enough. 15 points off those 600s. Not gonna be fast enough. Sorry for locking in, getting quiet, guys, but looking at some scalpy trades here, just watching NQ. I kind of like to see these hold for a pop back up. I think we could get that nasty knife here. I would prefer not to be on the wrong side of that. Looking for a long that we don't continue all the way through this area of high volume right down towards the middle. I just don't want to I don't want to be too quick on it. I think we're either going to get a really aggressive movement right down in here, and I'm going to look to long it from that level, but I'm tempted to long it ahead of it. No. Staying patient helping me, at least for now. Ooh, that was an ugly fill. Ugly fill. I'm long, guys. I'm trying this bad boy long. I'm looking for a little dip down and for this trend to the upside to continue. $1,000 worth of risk on. Getting a little bit of a reaction there after dipping down below these lows. Waited for that to start to pop back up, but I hit the buy button as we were down here. That was a disgusting fill here on TradingView. God, man, this chart is so late. So late. Anyway, trying to long on this bad boy. Again, guys, we're in the top one sim accounts. Super aggressive. We're trading a mini here and some volatility on NQ. We're going to pass or fail some sim accounts relatively quickly here. Relatively quickly here. Nice pop back up. I'm going to go stop to break even on this right off the rip. Show me 500 bucks worth of profit. Maybe we have to dance around here. I want to see this quick pop right outside of this this area of volume. Little bit more out of this one. Give me 1,000 bucks. I don't want to see it come down through these lows. There we go. There we go. Nice little pop to the upside. Nice. Can we get a TP? Nice, we got a TP. Awesome. 1,000 bucks in this one. We got a couple $100 to pass. Beautiful. Beautiful. Quick $1,000 W in a top one 50K elite. I'm not gonna put more in this one since there's a 45% consistency rule. If you are trading a top one elite really aggressively, the way that I have on this one right now, you don't want to put 1,500 bucks in the account to try to pass it in 2 days or 3,000 to pass it in 1 day. The max you could do is 45% of 3,000, which is, can somebody in chat help me out? What is 45% of 3,000? That's what you could do on any one individual day. So, let me go ahead and pull this bad boy off screen and come back with another one since we just caught a quick W. I'll throw this one up. There we go. 1350. Correct. If you're trading the 50K elite daily accounts from Top 1 Futures, you cannot put more than 1,350 bucks exactly in the account on any one individual day if you want to pass it in the minimum amount of time. So that bad boy, yeah, that bad boy is almost passed. That's one quick scalp trade on tomorrow to get it over the edge. So cool. We got a couple that are in drawdown. Let's go to close to fresh one. This is one that we took a couple trades on, but it's at break even. 50,000 and 57. So let's get really aggressive on this bad boy. See if we can't get 1350 or a fail. Plus 1350 or negative 2000. That's what we're going to go for, okay? Really aggressive, right? Really aggressive. But we got that nice pop. Really, really beautiful. Wanted to see the 600s get taken out. I bought into this wick down here. Honestly, that was a pretty ugly fill. I should have been long from down here. It filled me long from like up here. Got that nice pop to the upside. Can't complain about the take profit getting hit right in there, guys. Beautiful. We're kind of chopping around. Setup number two. Setup number two. I don't know yet, so we're going to stay patient. I don't know yet, so we're going to stay patient. Let's look for trade number two. Let's see if we can't go 2-0. Max profit. Show you what it looks like to get through prop accounts really quickly. Let's see. Buttery knife or stairway to heaven? We will see. We will see. Zach, I hit $1,500. Should I break even or just take profit? Already made 3.5K. In what? In what? Time pass. You made $3,500 in an eval, in a funded account, in a demo. You know, what are you risking? You know, all of that depends. All that depends on you know, on what you're doing, right? For the most part, a $3,500 day is too big for any eval unless it's 150K. But you should probably take profit, you know, if you're not super consistent yet. But I don't know. What does your strategy call for? What does your approach call for? What do your rules call for? Demo 1 to 4? Yeah. You know, what is your game plan? You should have the answer to that question before you're trading, right? You should already know, you know, what your max risk per trade is, what your max risk per day is, and then, you know, what is your game plan for taking profit, right? If you don't know, I think use this as a time right now to make a game plan, right? You know, what is your upside cap? Do you have an upside cap? What's your personal daily profit target for the day? Do you have a personal daily profit target, right? I just hopped over to this account, and that's the first thing I did with you guys. What did I just say, right? We just put up $1,000 in a, you know, top 150K elite daily. Now we're on another one. This one is break even. We're going to try to get to aggressively $1,350 or lose the account. $2,000 is the max loss limit. That's on the line for the next trade. Risk per trade and risk for the day, $2,000, right? Personal daily profit target for the day and for any individual trade, $1,350, right? Maybe you're not confident with that. Maybe you want something completely different. What are those numbers? You should know, right? Same for the, you know, you know, any account that you're trading, right? You should have that stuff hammered out. You know, maybe you apply a little bit more discretion as you get much more advanced. But in risk management, it should be pre-planned. It should definitely be pre-planned for the trade, but it should really be pre-planned for the day. Because once you're into it, you never get smarter, right? You never make a better decision. And if you don't know, you know, the answer is the max loss limit or hold to the moon or hold to zero. And that's not a good way to go about trading, right? It's really not a good way to go about it. So, you know, again, we talked about structuring risk management, right? Structuring our overall game plan. What are you trading? What is your, you know, capital allocation for trading? What are you going to allot to that for live accounts, for prop accounts? And then how much are you comfortable risking in each individual one of those live accounts and prop accounts? Got some volatility cracking to the upside here. I kind of like this long. Kind of like this long. Unless we come right through the lows. Which way are we going to go? Because we're going to go one way or the other. We're not going to sit here for forever. We're definitely not going to sit here for forever. I think we cracked the highs. I think we cracked these highs. Give me an entry down around these lows again. I'm gonna try this from down here, guys. Again, we're in a fresh 50K eval, aggressive. I got $1,000 worth of risk on. This would be max profit. I think we either wick down really aggressively and rip my stop off, or we pop to the upside. I do like this for the pop to the upside because we wick down here once, pop to the upside, failed to go higher, found buyers down here again. We got a really beautiful base. I think we're either gonna rip my face off to the downside, right, really aggressively, and push lower all the way down like into this area, right, maybe to the low end of this range, really, really aggressively. Or, and the trade that I'm shooting for, we pop to the upside really, really nicely. We get an aggressive push higher, back up around these highs, at least outside of this area. I don't know that I would hold this trade all the way to this like max profit, take profit area. But I do like the risk structure on this one. Consolidating, 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 choppy. I'm looking for that, that wedgie break, right? We break out of this crap that we're doing here. And we get that pop, right? Area of interest to area of interest, right? Volume profile. Basic stuff here. Basic stuff here. If we start to pop, I'm probably going to go stop loss to break even pretty quickly, how I did on the last one. I'd almost like an add-in on this, man. But I don't think I'm going to cook the account in one trade. I'd prefer to be able to take this loss and then take one more trade on the account to get through it extremely aggressively to either pass or fail. Liquidity down to 550s, which we might have to go tag. Looks like we might have to. Let's see what the market's got for us. Let's see what the market's got for us. We'll read some trade ideas. We'll read some trade ideas and stuff. Time pass. I appreciate you guys commenting. I'm gonna try to get some trading on. Throw it in Discord, man. Give me the baseline, and I'm happy to comment on it. We could send like a voice message or something later on. But if you guys are not in the 100% free trading Discord, you're missing out because not are we doing giveaways all damn week. 50K elite daily accounts. We got some incentivizing going on. Incentivization. I don't know. That's probably not a word. To get more people commenting, posting, sharing trade ideas, sharing wins and losses, sharing their journey. And it's already working beautifully. The group is active as all hell from yesterday into today. So if you're not in the free trading Discord, feel free. Hop in. Pin to the top of the chat. I'm going to encourage you guys to share your trades, to journal your trades, to let me know what you got going on, and provide some feedback, and hopefully get some people that are doing that funded. Chopping around here, chopping around, really not making a decision just yet on this. Making a case towards the lows here, though. I liked this for another push higher. This could be the face ripper to the downside. The more time that we spend not blasting higher, the less I like this. Ooh, heavy CVD on ES, man. Heavy CVD. Declining cumulative volume delta. Yeah, we're gonna get a move out of this, guys. We're gonna get something out of this. I don't love how we haven't done it already, but we're gonna get something here. Yeah, I don't know about this. Leaving this one on. We're just sitting in some chop here, man. Leaving this one on for now, but I don't love the movement that we're getting here. Trying to make the case for the move higher, but just sitting in this choppy range here. Coming into 11 a.m. in about 20 seconds. We're likely to get some volatility to the upside or downside. If I was in any other account other than something I'm getting super aggressive in, I think I would be out of this one at break even. Just to give you guys the, you know, the little bit of the word of caution here. Given plenty of chances to get out at break even. We're going to sit into some volatility. We could easily wick lower before going higher. This looked like a nice hold of this support area, right? Where we wicked lower, tried to move higher. Sellers couldn't take it lower again. We pushed up. Now we're kind of just chopping around. The more that we do this, even if we're going to move higher, we could pull one of these, right? Or even if we're going to move lower, we could pull one of these, right? Could pull this weird wick and then just pop right back down. I don't know what the next trade idea or setup I'm going to have is. So, like, if we go higher, I don't have another trade. If we go lower, I don't have another trade, at least for right now. So, I'm just going to sit in this, but this is just, like, stupid chop. And sometimes if you're taking scalpy trades, sitting in stupid chop like this, for lack of a better term, sometimes it's better just to go, I'm done, you know? Wait for the next trade, but I'm going to hold on to this for the pop to the upside. I don't know that I would hold for a break all the way through these highs. I'm cautious that we don't come outside of this by a lot, so I could take this one off a little bit quicker. Just to put that out there, which I think I might. There we go. Now we're getting a push to the upside. Stop to break even, plus a couple ticks, plus a point. Let's see if we can't get that drive higher. Yeah, this is a dicey spot. I think this could easily be a stop at break even if we don't take it here, but I'm gonna hang on. See if we can't get 1,000 out of this bad boy. Pushing above these highs. 700s have some liquidity at there. We go. Let's see. Nice. I'm taking $1,000 on this one, guys. Right above these highs. I think we could go get the stop for the extra $300, but I'm taking the stop, the take profit on this one. Another $1,000 in another one of these accounts. Certainly could absolutely blast through the highs. I think if I was gonna hold a trade like that, you know, why would I not hold it all the way just to the moon, right? If you're in down here for that movement to the upside, I think the benefit of holding near the highs like this to try to grab a take profit up here is to hold, you know, for the high of day, right? To hold for that whole move. I can't do that, so I'm gonna take another $1,000 off, and call it $1,000 and $1,000. So we got another W, chat. Got another W. Scalping NQ here, man. I don't know. Not a bad session so far. 2-0. This looks like it wants to go. Here's our really aggressive movement, like we talked about, right? We got this little wedgy, choppy, back and forth BS, right? What do we often do? Pop to the upside or pop to the downside, right? No complaints here, dude. No complaints. I'm curious to see what we got going on YM. Hop to the 15-minute. Similar. Yeah. That was it. I'll stay on NQ. 2,000 bucks on the session so far. 2-0. Scalp at NQ. Again, really aggressive, guys. On another day, you're going to see me take, you know, 2 full L's for $2,000 to the downside. But from here, I don't really know where we go. You can start fading this. You can start saying, hey, this is, you know, we came up here a couple times. We're not going to break out. I think we're going to, you know, we're going to sell back off to an area of high volume. I don't like that. I don't like fading this now, right? I don't like, okay, pop on the upside, pull back. We can't move lower off of the open. We can't move lower, right? We pull back down. Every dip is getting bought right back up. Sure, we could rip faces to the downside, which we often do sometimes, but I'm not going to look to start shorting this. Not on this, not just yet, unless we start to see some serious movement. As far as a long play, I don't know how you structure risk on this now. It looks like it's just kind of the potential for a break and run situation. So I don't know that I'm going to have another one coming up right here, right now. So I might just wrap this one up, man. No trade in the YM. No trade on YM off of the open. 2 trades on NQ, both winners. $1,000 W's. Putting 2 50K elite daily accounts near passing. One a couple $100 off. One, this was a fresh one today, so we got $1,000 in it. Got to make 3,000 to pass. You could do 1,350 for 2 days, and then, you know, that small amount that next day. But happy to display what some really aggressive trading in sim looks like with you guys. This is essentially what I do for the sim accounts, really aggressively. So anyway, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it on this one, man. Listen, if you guys are not in the Discord, no giveaway on stream today, obviously, right? If you made it all the way to the end. Maybe we do one tomorrow. Maybe we do one later this week. I don't know. Maybe we do more on IG. Maybe we do more on X. Maybe we do more in Discord. That's the fun, right? Where's the fun if I tell you exactly what's going to happen? If you want to hop in the 100% free trading Discord, link is pinned to the top of the chat. We got 5 50K elite daily accounts up for grabs this week. Details in the updates and alerts channel in Discord. Hope to see you guys in there live all the rest of this week. Hope to see you guys trading live with me here, 9:15 a.m. Eastern, almost every damn day. Hopefully we can continue taking some nice W's like this, scalping on NQ, making a couple racks. I don't know. We'll see what we can do. Appreciate you guys being here. Nice way to start the week. Be cautious if you are trading the rest of this week. I expect some of this to continue. We'll see. We'll see. Remember, guys, I'm not a financial advisor. I do not provide financial advice. Nothing I say or do is suggestion or recommendation to do anything at all. Make sure you do your own research, make your own trading decisions. Read CFTC Rule 4.41 on simulated trading, which is what this is, even if funded prop from accounts, and the affiliate and partnership disclaimer. This is I stand to make money from links and codes in my content. Like Top Up Futures, Code RDF, Bookmap, Edgeful, and others. Can't be unbiased if I stand to make money, which I do. Important for you to know that. And do your own research, make your own decisions. Appreciate you guys for being here. Thank you. I'll see you trading live tomorrow. See you in Discord. See you on socials.